Have you ever noticed how the more you understand something, the harder it becomes to actually do it? Not because you're confused, not because you lack ability, but because you can see too many possibilities at once. Relatable scenario. You wake up with a clear intention. Today, you'll finally start. The project, the workout, the study plan, whatever you've been delaying. You even sit down to begin. But then a thought shows up. Maybe I should plan this better first. So you open a few tabs, watch a couple of videos, read something useful. Now it feels productive, rational even. But an hour later, you're still not doing the thing. Another thought comes in. What if I'm doing this the wrong way? Then another. Maybe I should wait until I feel more clear. By the time the day ends, nothing really started. Just a quiet mental exhaustion. And the uncomfortable part is, you know exactly what happened. Hidden problem. This isn't laziness. It's not a lack of discipline either. It's something more subtle. You've trained your mind to prioritize thinking over doing. And over time, thinking started to feel like progress. Psychological explanation. For someone who is naturally analytical, thinking becomes a safe space. When you analyze, compare, or simulate outcomes in your head, you feel in control. There's no risk of failure there, no visible mistakes, no judgment, just possibilities. Your brain starts associating this mental activity with productivity, but in reality, it's a form of avoidance. Not obvious avoidance, like scrolling endlessly or watching random content, but a more intelligent version of it. You're not escaping effort, you're escaping uncertainty. Because action, especially meaningful action, comes with friction. It's messy, imperfect, unpredictable. And for a mind that values clarity and correctness, that feels uncomfortable. So instead, you stay in the loop of refinement, thinking, adjusting, preparing, without ever crossing the line into execution. Deeper layer, identity. Over time, this becomes part of your identity. You start seeing yourself as someone who is thoughtful, careful, precise. And that's not a bad thing. But there's a hidden trade-off. You become someone who waits to be fully ready, waits for the perfect approach, waits until doubt disappears. And that moment never really comes. Because thinking doesn't eliminate uncertainty, it expands it. Long-term impact. If this pattern continues, something subtle begins to happen. You start losing trust in yourself, not in your intelligence, but in your ability to follow through. Ideas pile up, plans get more detailed, but your real-world output stays the same. Eventually, you stop taking your own intentions seriously. You say you'll start, but a part of you already knows you probably won't. And that quiet disconnect builds frustration. Not loud frustration, but a steady internal tension. Like you're capable of more, but something keeps getting in the way. Shift in perspective. People who manage to move forward despite uncertainty don't necessarily think less. They just relate to their thoughts differently. They don't treat every thought as something that needs to be solved. They recognize that clarity often comes after action, not before it. They're willing to look unprepared, to start while still feeling unsure, not because they enjoy discomfort, but because they understand something important. Thinking can guide you, but it can't replace doing. At some point, you have to step out of your head and into something real, even if it's imperfect, even if it's incomplete. The uncomfortable truth is, your problem isn't that you don't know what to do. It's that you're trying to eliminate all doubt before allowing yourself to begin. And that standard is too high for real life. Because real progress doesn't come from perfect clarity. It comes from repeated, imperfect action. So the next time you find yourself stuck in that loop, planning, thinking, adjusting, just notice it. Not with judgment, not with pressure, just awareness. Because sometimes the most important shift isn't doing more, it's recognizing when your mind is quietly holding you back while convincing you it's helping.